Okay, for number 10, we're going to solve some one-step equations and check the answers. For our first one, we have m plus 6 equals 9 and 5/8. So, in order to do this, it's an equation, so we can draw a line down there. The goal of any equation is to get the variable by itself. So we want to get this m by itself. So we're going to have to get rid of plus 6. So, the way we get rid of plus 6 is do the opposite, which is subtract 6. And if I write subtract 6 on one side, I have to write the exact same thing on the other side. So the reason we did subtract 6, if you get $6 and you spend $6, you're back to 0. So anything plus 0 is itself. So this is going to cancel out always on the side with the variable. And then on this side, we simply do our problem. 5/8 minus nothing is 5/8. 9 minus 6 is 3. So we have 3 and 5/8. Okay. So to check it, we would put parentheses where our variable is, and then we put in what we said m was. We said m was 3 and 5/8. And 3 and 5/8 plus 6 does equal 9 and 5/8. Okay. For our next one, we have 23 equals x minus 8. So once again, it's an equation, which means both sides are equal. So our goal of any equation is to get this x by itself. So we're going to get rid of the minus 8. We do that by adding 8. If you go back 10 steps, up 10 steps, you're back to 0. And if you put the plus 8 there, to keep it equal, this side has to have the exact same thing, the plus 8. So now, this side we canceled, just to our x, which is what we wanted, and then we do 23 plus 8, which is 31. Now to check that, 23 equals, parentheses for our x, minus 8, and we said that x was 31. So 31 minus 8 does equal 23, so it checks out. Okay. For our next one, we have 12 equals y over 4. Draw our line. Our goal is still to get y by itself, so we have to get rid of the over 4. And a fraction is a division problem, so this really means it's division. So the way we get rid of division is by multiplying. So we put a times 4 there. We have to put a times 4 on the other side to keep it equal, so it's an equation. Now on this side, the 4 and the 4 cross cancel out to 1s. And anything times 1 is itself. So that's canceled out, so we're to the y here like we wanted. Now on this side, we simply do this problem, 4 times 12, and we get 48. Okay? Now to check that, we're going to write our problem, put parentheses for the y, and we said that the y was 48. And of course, 48 divided by 4 is 12. Okay? So that checks out. Okay? Our last one is 2/3 a equals 7/10. So once again, it's an equation. Both sides have to stay equal. Our goal of any equation is to isolate the variable and get it by itself, which means we have to get rid of this fraction 2/3. Now, the way you get rid of a fraction is by using the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of that is 3/2. And if I'm going to multiply this side times 3/2, I have to write the same reciprocal. I don't use the reciprocal of 7/10. I write the exact same thing on both sides. 3 over 2. It has to be the exact same thing on both sides. Now, on the side with the a, I can cross cancel my 2's. I can cross cancel my 3's, and I get 1. So that means I'm back to just the a, which is what I want on this side, just the a. Now on this side, I'm going to multiply. Numerator times numerator, 7 times 3 is 21. Denominator times denominator, 10 times 2 is 20. It's an improper fraction, so I can write it as 1 and 1/20. Now, to check this, I said A was 1 1/20 or 21/20. So I'm going to look at my problem here, and I'm going to put 2/3 parentheses for a variable, and I'm just going to use the 21/20 because I know I have to turn it back into a fraction. And I'm going to get 7/10 here. So I copied everything down here down, but for the A I put in parentheses and put what it was equal to. Now I can cancel. I can cancel this to a 1 and a 10. I can cancel this to a 1 and a 7. And I can see I have 7/10 equals 7/10. Just to do a couple more of those quickly, if I did, for instance, 5, let's change that and put our variables. If I did x plus 5 equals 10, and x minus 5 equals 10, x divided by 5 equals 10, and x times 5 equals 10. If I did all these problems, I'm simply going to divide them with the equal sign, and I want my variable by itself. That's the same for every single equation that we're going to have here, our variable by itself. So our first one, we get rid of plus 5. So we do minus 5 on both sides. So that cancels. So this gives us 5. And we can see 5 plus 5 does equal 10. Here, we're going to have to get the variable by itself, so we have to get rid of minus 5. We do that by adding 5 to both sides. And this cancels. 10 plus 5 is 15. And I can see if I put 15 there, 15 minus 5 does equal 10. On this one, this is over 5, which means divided by 5. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is times 5. And I have to do it to both sides. So this is going to cross cancel to 1s. So now I'm going to have 10 times 5 on this side, so that's 50. So if I put this, our original problem was x over 5, so 50 over 5 is 50 divided by 5, which does equal 10. On here, we have the x. To get the x by itself, I have to get rid of the 5, and when a number touches a letter, it means multiply. So that means I'm going to have to do the opposite, which is divide. And if I divide that by 5, I have to divide that by the same exact number. So this is going to cancel to 1s, so that gives me my x, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So once again, our original problem was 5x equals 10, so 5 times 2 equals 10, yes.